Hello, hello. I got an email this morning that said, Happy Monday to those who celebrate. So I think I need to pass that on. Happy Monday to those who celebrate. I thought that was really good. Um, but yeah, so I'm just continuing on with Retopology on this lovely lady. I'm gonna try to get I really, this is always a fun part for me, is the arms and the fingers and the hands and all that, the challenge of like getting the I always feel like a lot of people have different approaches to the fingers and lowering the poly count into the arms, and so I kind of do it a different way every single time I do it, because everyone has their own approach, so there's not necessarily one right way to do it. And that makes it really fun to me when you've got a challenge, something like that. So we'll see how I do it this time. I'm kind of hoping one day I'll do it one particular way that I decide is better than any other way I've done it, and I'll kind of stick to that way. But until then, it's a lot of fun, just kind of going wild, trying something new every time. Not just doing something crazy, following someone else's topology, following something that's been done before, but still trying something new. For the arms, I pretty much do the same thing every time. It's still kind of fun though. I like to get one point in each quarter, and then I will subdivide eventually. You see, I just did that to test it, but I'm also going to keep it lower until later on so it's quicker to put it all together. Even if that does mean it looks a little wonky to start. It's also helpful for making sure everything's all even. Like right now, it's not quite. Also keep in mind that the arm is twisted right now. So technically speaking, this point should curve down to here. Like that. I can't ever decide if it's good to do that or not. Wait, no, do I have that backwards? Yes. No, it should be going that way. I don't know. We'll see what I do this time. I think different people approach that differently, also. Hi! I'm kind of in my own head right now, not, very, very quiet. Retopology takes too much focus, apparently. Trying to get that chunk there that's not... Actually, it's kind of happening all the way around, but it's especially bad right there. A lot of the characters I usually make will end up having, let's see, right now it's 8, like the cross section right now is 8 around. I almost always end up going for 16, so I would actually smooth this once more so it would end up looking more like that can't be true, that's so much. Really? No, I usually do 8. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna really try to do 8 for this one because she's supposed to be little. So I should be able to get away with 8. I think this will be fine. No one's gonna be looking at it from this side. And it's always good to add some extra ones at the joint, but then also smooth it out so you don't get like these crazy rectangles. The relax tool is not happy with me. It's getting me, everything's all going astray when I use it. I think usually it does that if you're trying to capture too much detail with the level of geometry you have. I still don't like that there. I would like to be able to fix that, but I also really want this line here because that's the straight back line, I guess you could call it. So I don't really want to move that one. So I have to move this one, but then when I move that over, I lose it there. So I'm just gonna leave it. It's probably enough. I'm kind of thinking, maybe not. Let me look at the concept. I think I will, oh, no, okay. So I had been thinking about using the same UV space for one arm, for both arms, and then just mirroring it over after I do the baking. But I forgot she does have this asymmetry here, so I'm going to do the bandages completely in the painting, which I felt like matched their style the best to do that sort of detail just hand painted on. And the same goes for the legs. So for both the arms and the legs, since I'm not actually doing those as geometry, I'm going to actually make 2 separate UV spaces for each side. I might maybe go in for the hands and the feet to save some space. I only do 1, but for the arms I will be doing 2. Which means as soon as I'm done here, I might as well actually mirror it over. First I gotta get the shoulder and the hand, of course. I always struggle with the shoulder. Probably everyone does. It's a tricky part. Gotta get all of this space and then also fit it down in there, in the armpit. I suppose you probably could get away with putting a pole somewhere and actually giving more geometry on this side, but I never do that. I don't know. It's something to think about, I suppose. The problem is, to do that you would have, I think you would have to have it somewhere in this area, which has a lot of deformation, so it's not going to look pretty. But this also doesn't look pretty, so, you know. It's, whichever is the lesser of two evils. I feel like I have more here than I need. Clean topology, always a delight to look at. It's not too clean, not yet. I think I'm gonna actually go delete one of these just while I'm putting it together. I think it's easier to work with it like that, and then I can go and add more edge loops later. Honestly, I don't think I even needed that one. It's better to get rid of it. It's cleaner than the one you did. Yeah, I'm really struggling with this shoulder. For some reason, I can't think what I normally do, but I don't feel like this is right, because I'm starting to get, like, pretty stretched in there. Maybe I just have to accept that. Maybe here is where I create the pole. Would that be okay? That feels like an awful spot to put it in. Well, as always with retopology, the only way you can solve it is by trying stuff, and if it's bad, you just go back in and fix it. You can't just, like, expect yourself to get it perfect on the first try. If you do, you're just going to become frozen and not do anything at all. don't like that. I'm going back. But now I've got myself in a pickle because I've got something tricky on both sides. Let's grab a reference for hand topology. I was pretty happy actually with what I did on my last character, so I'm going to actually just copy from myself if I can find the file. Oh my gosh, I don't have it anymore. Okay, well fine, let's get the actual Maya file. Oh. Okay. Oh, you always start with the loops and fill in the rest. Chest and shoulders loop, neck loop, arm loops, elbows and knees. Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. Let's see if this is the right file. Yes, it is. Ah, that's right. Okay, so I didn't love how I did this one. This was a new method. And wait, oh, while I'm in here, actually, let me check. Yeah, so I did do 16 around. His arms are a lot bigger and more detailed, though. But no, I'm looking at the fingers. I like having this loop like this for the knuckles, but I don't like what I've done here. I mean, maybe it's alright. I feel like it would have a lot of issues right there. It's okay. Let's check something else. Ooh, someone needs to organize his files better. What do these file names even mean? I think I was doing a lot of weird stuff with this one. I'm not sure if this is the right file. Oh, that's terrible. No, that's not any better. Okay. This is kind of fun. This one I only have one file for the retopology. This is what I should be doing every time. There's nothing to hide. Oh, this one's weird because it was a glove on one side and a hand on the other. No, see, because now I don't have the knuckles, and I like having the knuckles. I think I'll go with what I did on this one, if if I do reuse anything. But this one is significantly denser than I want this new character to be, so I'd have to adapt it. I remember having a lot of difficulty with the thumb on this one, and I don't know if the final solution is great. I don't like that. That's a little weird. I don't know. I'm overthinking it, as always. Let's just take this for a little ride. And this is great because now we'll see if I've scaled things correctly. About to be put on blast. Where'd it go? Oh my god. Oh, now I'm curious. How tall is she? This should be in centimeters, right? Yeah, alright, so she's like 5'4", a little less because her hair is huge. I wonder what I did, because I remember this guy was pretty short. Obviously part of the problem was just insane proportions. He had really, really big arms. But that wouldn't put him at, say his head probably came up to like there. I don't know centimeters, 6'5". He definitely was not that tall, so clearly my scale got skewed between one of these at some point, which is a bummer. I was really, really hoping it would be right. It's possible I rescaled him after I did the retopology, like I had the UVs and the texturing and all that, and maybe I did more scaling later. Like, you know, oftentimes it happens for me that my scale gets out of whack during ZBrush because I start messing with proportion and I don't realize how far I've gone from my original scale, which I could easily see happening with either one of these characters. She seems to have stayed pretty much the same, but maybe he didn't, and I went back and fixed that later, hopefully. We would hope so. Let's... get some more reference. Since I'm not 100% sure about this one that I did, I'm going to go ahead and look at some more. I don't really like what they're doing here. So in this one, they, on the knuckles, they actually create two extra loops in the front for the knuckles to bend, which I guess it's good. It feels excessive to me, but maybe the rest of it I could follow at least. The rest of it seems to look pretty good. I would love to get my hands on a model from Hades and actually look at their topology. I wonder if maybe even just one of the creators has done a video. I wonder if I can find a video of that. I wonder if that texturing video shows the topology at some point. I should look at that. Won't do that right now though, because that would be great TV, me watching a video. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'll just start doing it and change my mind later. It's a good way to save topology, doing it like that. The question is it necessary? I guess with a game like Hades, you definitely would want to be saving topology. They got those little guys, but then again, there's so little, is that extra edge loop even important? They're getting all squishy. This feels a lot denser than I really want. Like, a lot denser. I suspect if I find an actual model of these in the game, it's gonna be, I mean, I can just look at, I don't think they're going to that level of mesh. Not when you consider like how many characters are on screen and everything at once, and how tiny these little guys are. But I guess I'm just going to go ahead and keep doing it this way. It is a portfolio piece. I want to show I guess, you know, if I do find one, if I can find an actual model from the game that gives a good example of a better way to do it, a more efficient way of doing it, maybe I'll follow that exactly. But if I can't find one, I would rather have a nice clean topology, even if it's a little too dense, than something lower poly where I'm kind of doing guesswork, since I personally don't necessarily know how to do a really low poly finger that would work well. So that's why I'm here with this. And this, I believe, is one that I looked at before to get inspiration for this. These knuckles sort of thing. I think that's really nice, because then you actually get the knuckle silhouette, which is sweet. With this character, her knuckles are pretty undefined, though. If you look at these guys, they got like the little actual drawn-in knuckles there. With like my other character that I brought in for reference, here, his knuckles are more defined. You know, he's got like the beefy, burly, wide fingers. Really, I mean, not, you know, I think of like on a scale of how defined are the muscles, I would put her, or not muscles, knuckles, I would put her very low down. She's kind of got a bit of a stylization thing going, where her, like, the ends of her fingers are kind of bulbous, and her knuckles are a little bit more pronounced than they might necessarily be on a person in real life with the same hands. But then we have, like, this guy, where he has these like bulging muscles and bulging knuckles. And then, like, maybe on the farthest end of the spectrum would be a scrawny old person, where their knuckles have swollen, and they have like the trademark bony fingers. You would really want to be doing extra work to capture that in the silhouette. So for her, again, this isn't necessary, but I don't know, it's still helpful in the animation. It's still helpful. So, who knows? Since I don't have a poly count I'm trying to hit right now, I can do what I want. And I can always change it later if I change my mind. Alright, so this is basically the red row. So next I want to get in between the knuckles like that. It's really important that you do have a gap between your fingers. I feel like that was the classic mistake in 2D figure drawing. Like, when you just start, you never want to put a gap. Your inclination is to put the fingers right up next to each other, not have a gap in between them. And I think a lot of 3D modelers also start having that inclination of like, oh, put the fingers next to each other and no topology in between them. That wouldn't be great. That's that matches. Oh, hold on. Yeah. I don't know yet if I'm connecting that to that or not, so I'm just going to leave them close to each other. Probably will connect them, but I want to make sure first. Let's see. Let's have one in between. So that would match like that. Oh. No. I don't want to. Is that number? 10. I don't like 10. 10 is not a good number. I wonder if something like that could work. Because that would bring it down to 8. That would have to be fixed, of course, but... You know what, I'm gonna go for it. And I'll find out later if my actions have consequences. Because not only will this reduce the poly count, while theoretically maintaining the silhouette, but it also will make the fingers 8-sided, which in my opinion comes out much cleaner than 10-sided piece would. And I don't see any harm in putting a triangle there, that far up the hand. I could even still, let's see, close these off somehow. I'll get to that when I get to it. Alright, so for the wrist, that's kind of already been done, but just go ahead and extrude that one more time so I have like the actual wrist in place instead of just the idea of the wrist. And in fact, I'm going to separate it from the arm. The thumb always gets me. I don't like it. Oh, this one went down to 7 because of all of my shenanigans, so I'm actually gonna put an extra loop in there, and then do the same on the other side. So 8, 8, 8, and 8. Just double checking, making sure I didn't screw anything up at any point. It's really easy to make a mistake when you're working with these little guys. So for the thumb, I'm going to make a loop here. And I'm going to hide everything else because that's really annoying. So what I really want to do, my goal with the thumb, is to connect it to the fingers in such a way that I would be able to draw a line. So it's got to be like, no, stop that. How can I draw a line? Draw a line all the way down this finger and, you know, go all the way across. Have one edge loop that goes along. I want it to be on the side of the thumb, but also on the side of the fingers, which means there's some twisting, but I want it to be like that so that when I then cut the UVs, there's just one perfect line, which is pretty, I mean, I think that's pretty obvious, but it can be tricky right here and here. So like this is right here, I believe, is the right edge loop. Which means that needs to connect to this. So that's a lot of twisting. And then we have this same here. This one needs to connect to this one, which is not pretty. That needs to connect to that. This part is less important. That's more just, it makes me happy. I guess it doesn't technically matter. Because I'll be cutting the hand as a separate UV shell anyway. And then the same goes for this side. This should connect to this. Something like that. So, could theoretically put that there as a reminder, but it gets more complicated than that because I will of course be reducing the poly count from whatever I have up down here to get to match up here. But with that in mind, did I actually get that right? Let's double check before I assume that I have the right ones. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that's right. Alright, I gotta clear the dots because they're getting in my way. It's also good to have a few extra concentric circles coming out of the thumb. So like right now I want to do that. It just feels like the right thing to do next, but I want more circles coming from the thumb because that will really help the animation. But this is really, really bad. So then you get kind of stuck. So that's the part that I struggle with the thumb. I don't have a good solution for it. I can't remember what I did last time. I felt like it was okay, but I just can't remember what it was. So let's look. Oh, right. So I continued the loop after wait, hold on. No? What did I do? Oh, look at that. Okay, so I created a pole there. I don't know. Right, so I agree with my earlier opinion of it, which is it's okay, but I don't love it. This size difference is so ridiculous. I had another one where both of them truly were to scale. I had this one little guy, he was like 3 feet tall, and then this like fighter woman who was like at least 6 feet tall. I think she ended up being closer to 8 feet tall by the end. And I was doing the same exact thing where I was comparing their hands to decide which one I wanted in the end, and having them side by side was just so absurd. I mean, we're working with two different styles, two different proportional styles. And of course, you know, fantasy characters like a little goblin who's only 3 feet tall or something like that. It's just, it's always very funny. So what did I do? Did I do something like that? Actually, I've already forgotten. I guess that works. Is this actually 8? Yep. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. But is that what I want to do? Maybe, maybe not. Three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going crazy. I don't know why, this always gives me so much difficulty. It's like I completely forget how topology works for a minute every single time I do the thumb. I think I need to just start connecting and see where the problem is. It's not apparent to me right now. So we've got... There's an imbalance. So I don't know if this one will connect to this. In fact, it most likely will not, but I do know that this point has to be there, which is why I'm only connecting that one thing, because I will be reducing the poly count. See, I've got 1, 2, 3 on this side, and 1, 2 on this side. That is not ideal. That is the problem. That is what always happens. Because I'm doing something I could fix. I know I can fix this. Is it necessary? I don't know. Is it good? No. Because that's 6-sided pull now. I don't want that. Okay. Because the problem is with that offset is it's going to start spiraling, I think. I believe that's inevitable. Unless I kill it somewhere. knows this is crazy. Kind of, it always gets crazy in the hand for me. Oh, maybe that's fine. Yeah, that's just fine. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, but let's match the count now. This is either the fun part or the hard part. Oh, okay, so that's not good. I want that to be fixed before then. Okay, I gotta back up. This isn't working. That seems incredibly unnecessary. I'm gonna have to come back to this and think about it when I'm not streaming. I think it's I'm too distracted trying to think about it, because this is not good. This is not right. I don't want it to be anything like this. So yeah, well, I achieved very little, but maybe I can sort this out. Before Friday, definitely before Friday. Alright, well, this was a short one, but Heather's got her streaming on Tuesday and Thursday, and probably, I believe, with ZBrush again on Wednesday. And I will be back on Friday, so until then, have a good day. Simple as that. Yeah, get some good work done. Don't overthink it. Stop overthinking it. Alright, bye-bye.